programming. Your phone calls with several decades-long shortwave listeners making me remember the time I wasted doing something other than listening to shortwave, which I only began a few years after the 9/11 event. Happy anniversary. Indeed, yes, he's writing this on September 11th. As I said, after the 9/11 event, pulled the curtain down on what remained of the integrity of the U.S. media, and I went looking to foreign lands. And I have to echo the comment made by your second caller, Greg. Yes, Greg Bears, it would have been, who said that it just isn't as easy to listen on the computer as it is on the radio. There's just so much on the internet. I just don't get around to trying to find, say, Radio Sweden. Although when they were on shortwave, any day I missed one of their several daily broadcasts somehow felt empty. But I am so well trained to go to 6055 kilohertz on my now almost redundant radio at 8 p.m., 7 p.m., that perhaps it won't be so difficult to tune in to rtve.es on my computer. I just hope your podcast updating improves so that yes, there's room for improvement, we must admit, so that I find something to listen to in the evening. But sometimes shortwave reception let me down, and I always came back with hope the next evening. Although it is great to know that your programming will continue, it is very disappointing that you will no longer do your news broadcasts, which always had either something I wouldn't hear anywhere else or the best interpretation of what everyone else was saying. Now the only English voice I will hear from the Spanish-speaking world will be Radio Havana, where, of course, I hear things that I don't hear anywhere else. But their topics don't stray too far from domestic news or the bashing of the empire. I think the Cuban Five have been, or will soon be, released, and eventually Luis Posada Carillas will die. But it's great to know that you both will continue to have jobs, which is the most important thing, and I look forward to your continued great work. Less news means more blues, right, Justin? We'll see, yes, actually. Have more people in. Could be. All the best from your devoted listener in West Virginia, Kent. In fact, one of the blues-related things that I'd like to have in is a Swiss fellow who was the one who in 1982 or 83 or 84 founded the first specifically blues bar in Spain, and it's in Madrid. His name is Alberto and Albert, and I've talked to him, and I think he speaks English, and he's interested in coming in, so one of these days we'll bring him in with maybe a musician or two.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see, you can hear blues from Spain, as Greg had pointed out earlier about shortwave bringing people together, and Marlene Schoenberg, our other loyal listener whom we spoke to on the phone twice, also talked about her own experience with Radio Moscow as when she was just a young girl, beginning as a shortwave listener, and just it does bring people together. Well, I have an email here from the 17th of September, which is a reception report, and it's also from the United States. Andris Straumanis, who writes to us from New Brighton, Minnesota. He writes, "Greetings. I am pleased to report reception of Radio WebSDR de España at 01 minute UTC on September 17th, 2014 on the frequency of 6055 kilohertz. The broadcast was in English. I tuned in at 1 minute UTC to hear news, that is 0 hours, 1 minute UTC to hear news, including items on El Corte Inglés stores, the Ebola virus, Ukraine's agreement with the European Union, and so forth. At 05 minutes, the station broadcast a segment on 16th century music by Cristobal de Morales, presented by Alison Hughes. The North by Southwest show began at 37 minutes, 0 hours, 37 minutes, with a focus on a Madrid street market, the rastro told by a Spanish-Iranian poet. I tuned out at 55 minutes UTC. The broadcast was heard on a Texan PL880 receiver using the built-in whip antenna. The SIO rating of the reception was very good, 544, although some propagation issues and interference were noted. I am located near the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul in Minnesota. I would be grateful to receive a verification QSL card of this reception report, as well as Radio Exterior de España's program guide. My address is, and he gives it, Andres Stromanis. Thank you for your consideration. Well, Andres, I suspect you may be a relatively new listener, and we are delighted that you tuned in and sent us this excellent reception report. We have not been sending out QSL cards for over 2 years, more than that really, these past years. We have not been able to do so, and as you can tell if you've been listening to this program so far, that the endeavor is in trouble. But at any rate, we certainly appreciate your reception report.
Well, I think that that's about the time we have for today, right? Are we going to end on a musical note? Or do we have time for?
No, I guess we're not going to end on a musical note today. I'm afraid that it'll have to be just to let listeners know we still have lots of emails. I've got an email right in front of me from Richard Lemke, which we won't be able to get to. Mark Cody, who we also spoke on the phone years ago.
Marlene Sherburne.
Yeah, Marlene Sherburne. We've Christer Brunstrom, for whom the song is going to be played, but it will have to be played. I think we're going to have to do another Listeners Club tomorrow, the next day, just all this week. Thanks for tuning in. 73s.
73s. The English language service of Radio Exterior de España, broadcasting to North America. This broadcast goes out daily at 0 hours UTC on 6055 kilohertz in the 49-meter band. Please help us to improve our programming by sending us your comments. You can write us at Radio Exterior de España, Spanish National Radio, broadcasts in English, P.O. Box 156202, Madrid 28080, Spain. Or write us at our email address, english@rtve.es.